Good morning. This is Wendy Henley with the Bedford Area Chamber Vibes coming at you. We are so thrilled to have today a local celebrity who not only works for the town, but also has his own line of books that he's publishing. It's our own D.W. Lawhorne Jr. Welcome, D.W.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness. I'm sitting here. I feel like I've got a little starstruck power going on right now. Just seeing you. I mean, I know you are our local celebrity going around town. Everybody knows you and loves you. How does it feel to be loved by the entire community?
Yeah, well, it's a good feeling for sure. And that's what you want when you're part of a community. You definitely want it to be on the positive side of it. So that's a good thing. So,
well, you're doing a great job. And I'll tell you, the surveys are out and they're saying awesome to everything that you're doing. But, I know you're an inspiring leader, no doubt. You were born and raised here in the area and moved to Bedford several years ago. And you've had many success in all of your careers in local government. And, while you're in Bedford, you are a great citizen and you have led a citizen group to get together several times a year to participate in community cleanups, which is wonderful.
Yes.
But your day job is, you're in charge, man, director of the public works. And I'll tell you, you really do a great job. We have seen that even at the chamber, how much you guys are on it like nobody's business. Anything that's going on, you're a part of it. And we are better because of you and your team.
Well, thank you.
So you have helped with all the events in the community, basically, and your volunteering time and efforts and everything that you're helping out with. You were recently appointed to the governor of Virginia to the State Board for Waste Management.
That's correct. Huge
honor there. And also a board member for Carter Craft Foundation.
Yes.
That is wonderful. And you and your wife, Tammy, enjoy spending time on the farm and camping.
Love it.
And other opportunities allow that you are also parents of 3 wonderful children and grandparents of 1 precious little one.
Yep. His birthday's Friday. He'll be 7.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. I tell you, nothing better than kids, but grandkids are like a different level.
You got that right.
They just bring so much light and energy and fun, and they keep us young, don't they?
I think so.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. It helps me take a nap after he leaves because I'm usually wore out.
Right. Yes, they keep us busy for sure. Well, you have a great day job, and I know, like I say, you are doing such a fabulous job, and we're blessed to have you, and hopefully you'll be here forever on that. But we're here today. We're going to talk more about what you do with your other time, which I don't know how you have time to do this, to be honest. But you have written several books, children's books.
That's correct.
Oh, I'm so inspired and I love them. And it's all about Boots.
Boots the cow.
Boots the cow. Yeah. And so let's talk about today on the show, we're going to talk about people that are interested in writing books, how they can start to write their books. What are their steps? You went a different route with Amazon and we're publishing your own. And so we're going to talk about that later. But first off, what inspired you and gave you this great idea?
Well, luckily, it's a true story. Boots is a real cow. He's at the house. Just saw him this morning when I was pulling out of the driveway. He looked at me funny. I looked at him funny. So that helped that it's a true story. But back when the pandemic hit, and I've always had an interest to do this. Years ago, 25 years ago, I wrote a children's book about my son, who is now 33. Just a little story about him. It didn't do very well. It was okay. It was a cute story, but so I still had that in the back of my mind. I still wanted to do something like that. And then during the pandemic, everybody's at home, got time on their hands. And then also I'm on the board for the Carter Craft Foundation. And being a nonprofit, a lot of your fundraising things are outdoor stuff, golf tournaments, car shows, cruise-in, stuff like that. Well, as we know, all that kind of stuff come to a screeching halt. So as we get together as a board talking like, hey, we're driven off of funds off fundraisers, but now we can't do that. So I said, hey, I've got this idea of writing these books about this cow, So so I told them, I said, I'll do it and, not expect a whole lot, but I'll give, part of the proceeds to the foundation to help raise some money. Wrote the first book. and it went to number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2 on the
My
Amazon
goodness.
bestseller list.
Wow.
So did real well. So after that, then I was like, hey, I got some stories here. Let's just go
You can
with
continue his Boots' story.
Continued the journey with Boots and had some stuff there, and even got to where last Christmas when we put out the Christmas book, Christmas with Boots, we even did a cartoon that goes along with that. That's on the website, bootsthecow.com, or on Boots Facebook, and on YouTube you can see those. And the little cartoon is pretty much taken from the book. It's a little different, but it's basically off the book, so you can follow along in the book and see that. And probably we'll do some more. We're thinking about doing a whole series of Boots cartoons, and then that way we can have a whole thing where you can pull up on the tab and watch them there, and cute little 2-3 minute segments you can watch at Boots.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And so for people to get your books, where are you selling?
Yep. So you can go to my website, bootsthecow.com, and you'll have links on there.
All right, say that again.
bootsthecow.com, all together.
bootsthecow.com.
Yep.
Okay.
And on there's links that will take you to the Amazon page. I have an author page on there that has all the series on there where you can get the books. Or you can go straight to Amazon, put in my name, or put in Boots the Cow. It'll come up. Locally, if you're locally at the Visitor Center, you can go to the Visitor Center. We have a nice little display up there. They're kind enough to let me have something up there. And also Evie's at the Lake, Smith Mountain Lake Coffee House. If you're in the lake area, it's available up there. And we're working on some other local places we're going to try to do. The good part is if you buy them on Amazon, you're going to get the book, and the whole series of books. If you go into the stores or the Visitor Center, we do have stuffed cows, little plush cows, plush bees, some pins, some bags. I forget what else we have. We got a whole line of Boots merchandise there that we do in the stores and stuff, but we do not do online. So,
oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so it's a little
So
different.
who helped you design those?
My wife.
Oh, my goodness.
She helps me pick up that kind of stuff. And then she is also the one, we have keychains. I brought you a keychain today.
Thank you.
So we have
I love it.
For the new book, which is Boots Meets a Bee, we have bee keychains. For the first book, we have cow keychains. And so she's the one that goes out weekly and restocks the stores and stuff for me too. So that helps out too and takes care of. And then I get people that hit us up online and stuff that say, hey, how can I get an autograph copy? Which I always laugh and tell them, it kills the value if I'm writing in your book.
No, it doesn't.
But we'll do it. But she also helps me with that. She takes care of that. When we get those requests, I'll get home and she'll have a stack of books, with a piece of paper on them. You need to make this one out to this person, this one. And then she'll take care of taking them to the post office, getting them mailed to the right people, and take care of that. So I really appreciate.
Well, speaking of that, when is your next book signing?
We'll be doing Evie's again. We just did one at Evie's at the lake, but I think we're going to do one up at the Smith Mountain Lake Coffee House at the bridge. They have a place right there.
Okay.
Right as you cross the bridge on the left there, where that whole that
strip.
Yeah, that strip. They have a store there, so they have asked me to come do one there. We just did one at Evie's up in Manita.
Okay.
But we're going to do Smith Mountain Lake Coffee House. So with that, what we're kind of waiting on is we just recently had made and have not got it yet, but we're getting a Boots mascot uniform, like you see the college teams have the mascots.
Oh my
so
goodness!
we had one made of Boots the Cow, and so we're kind of holding off till we get that. It's been delayed in shipping, but we're hoping that when we get that way we can have Boots the Cow at the book signings, so people can get pictures with the Boots mascot and stuff. Because it's a little hard to take the real Boots out. He's
now I'm gonna have to say who is gonna be behind the costume.
Either my wife or daughter.
Okay. Do they get to draw straws or?
Well, I think it's going to be try it on whoever fits in the best.
There you go. Who can fit in the mascot costume gets to be Boots.
As we're talking about that, it's going to be 100 degrees this week. So I
know nobody's going to want to wear the costume.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so hot outside right now. Well, so this is exciting. Oh, I want to come see the mascot for sure. Well, and I want to meet Boots himself in person, in animal.
Yep.
So I want to be there. So I've got to come see.
Yes, come
see
on
Boots.
out and see him.
and do a little tribute for sure.
He is spoiled rotten. He still thinks he's that calf that we bottle raised.
Does he?
Because, and that's how it all started was, his mother, sometimes cows don't take to their calves. And, if you're on a farm, you know that. But,
yeah.
Boots wasn't taken by his mother, so we had to bottle feed him, which happens, usually once a year we get one like that.
Sure.
But he was just special. He was just different. Right from the get-go, we could tell he was different. He stayed at the house. Usually we put him in a lot in the field. We have a separate lot for the calf stuff. Him, we brought up to the house. He's with the dog outside in the garage, and he just didn't go anywhere. He just stayed up there with the dog and thought he was the dog.
He's like, I'm part of the family.
Yeah,
right
we have
here.
a black lab, and of course back then, the lab's 120 pounds, and Boots was 20 pounds, but as he growed up, he thought he was a dog. I mean, he plays stick, he plays kickball,
oh my goodness,
all these things, and that was the whole thing with the first book. The first book is called "The Day Boots Became a Cow," and so with that, as we're bottle feeding the calf and everything, and I mean, he was just very spoiled, just very loving, very spoiled, and lay in the garage. He's in the front yard. You didn't have to keep him pinned up. He wouldn't go anywhere. And, I kept telling my wife, I said, we've got to get this calf, before we got to the point where now he's become Boots, the character. I was like, we got to get this calf back in the field with the rest of the herd to get acclimated with the herd, because we're going to ruin him if we keep him. And so we put him out in the field. And then the next morning, he'd be back in the garage.
He said no.
Yeah, he's like, no, he's back.
I don't want that life.
So we go out there like, okay, we find where he got out. We'd put him back out there, and he'd stand out there in the field and holler. And then, I remember one morning I'm getting at the shower, and I hear, "Rrr," and I'm like, well, that's awfully close.
Yeah.
Open up the garage door. He's in the garage again, laying in the floor. And I mean, this happened weekly. And then it was kind of the reverse. One morning, my wife comes in, she comes back, and she's like, hey, Boots is not in the garage. He's not outside. I can't find him anywhere. Like, oh man, oh no, okay. So we go out and we get on the side by side and take off looking all over everywhere but the field, and we don't find him. And we was like, well, let's just go check. And we go out in the field, and he went into the field. He actually went the opposite way. Oh. So, and then he stayed. And he's still spoiled, but he stayed. So I said, okay, well, he finally decided to be a cow.
So, you were like, okay, he's all right.
So that was my whole thing for the first story was, well, that was the day that Boots became a cow because he wanted to be the cow. But even though he got into the field, he is still spoiled. I mean, you can take a kickball out there right now. He's 1,000 pounds and just roll it right across the field. He takes off after it. Now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he loves it.
He's a dog cow.
Yes.
I love this. And sweet.
Yes, he is spoiled. Bread, he loves bread.
His family. Oh.
I mean, you take a loaf of bread out there, man, he's your best friend.
Oh.
He's going to lick you to death and just push all up on you and rub on you.
Oh, my goodness. After this, I'm definitely coming out to meet Boots in person.
Yes.
And so how many books so far
we have
you written? You've got four so
books.
far.
Yep.
Okay. And how many, what is, the next adventure? Or I guess you may or may not be able to say.
Yeah, no, I will. I've got a couple other ones that I've just wrapping up. And I don't know what order they're going to come out. I don't know. But one of them will be called Boots the Babysitter. Because quite often the story with cows, if you're on a farm, when cows have calves and stuff like that, and you'll hear people talk about, well, they put the calf down, and how our cows communicate. A lot of times you'll see calves curled up, laying down, and they don't move. I mean, they just stay there until their mama comes back, because the mama's got to go graze and feed to, keep nourished and stuff for the milk stuff. But a lot of times you'll see one of the adult cows in the herd that always stays with the babies. Just kind of like keep an eye on them. In our case, in true story, it looks like Boots always gets stuck babysitting. So when we start having cows, we'll ride out there, and the mother cows will be out here walking around grazing and stuff, and you go over there, and here's Boots with all the babies sitting around. He's just standing there, like he's babysitting today. So that kind of inspired the story, and then that'll give me the basis of the story, and I just add a little bit to it, different things. And then another one will be, I don't know the title yet, but it might be, Boots has a boo-boo, or Boots sees a doctor, or something like that. It's going to be where he probably gets a thorn in his hoof or something and has a sore foot, and the vet has to come out, and the whole story of that.
Oh,
so I don't know which one will come out first. We'll figure that out later. But and then
something to look forward to.
Yeah, so those two are pretty much ready to go. I just got to put some finishing touches on them and then send them to the illustrator. And then I have, 4 or 5 ideas I've already jotted down, different things to think of, to go from there. And then you always think, these have worked out good because I had talked about before about should he start talking to the other cows? I don't know, but I don't. Now that I'm this far into it, I don't want to change it. That might be a whole spinoff of something else.
Sure. Yeah. You never know what's
Yeah.
what's to come and how many you're going to have in the series. Maybe you'll
Yeah.
have 8 or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But it's so exciting. And I love the stories and
Yes.
my grandkids love these
Yes.
stories. I just think it's
Well,
so
they're good
precious.
and clean and simple, and that's what we need today because there's so much other crazy stuff going on to the world, and I think back, and I think you can too when you was growing up. Our childhood memories of education and books and stuff are simple and clean and fun.
Yes.
And that's what we need. That's what
We need. And
Yeah,
that's
a lot
what
of
I'm
that
glad to
stuff.
see
Yeah.
a lot of us are going back to. And so for the podcast listeners today, tell us about what were the steps that you went through. I
Okay.
know this was not traditional, so
Right.
to speak,
Right.
but let's start from the beginning.
So if you're writing a book, obviously, and I learned this on the first one years ago, and it didn't do so well, but you can send off, they have, send off queries and stuff like that, they call it, to publishers. And you get online and look, different publishers, and they'll have on their websites, they might say not accepting submissions at this time, or they might be. So you got to narrow it down. If you're looking to go the publisher route, the traditional way, you got to find out, okay, like some publishers may do children's books, some may only do romance. So you got to find the right publisher,
The right fit
the
for
right
what your
fit.
story is.
So you got to narrow it down to that, and then you got to find out if they're accepting submissions, stuff like that. But basically, what you'll find out is even with these bigger companies and publishers like that, anybody will publish it for you if you come to the table with money.
With money, right? Money talks.
So if you're coming to the table with money anyway, so that's when we decided to go the other route, was publish it ourselves. That way we have control of it.
Sure.
I don't have royalties going to a publisher. When we do the illustrations, we pay somebody, the same graphic artist, to do all the books. It's the same person.
Okay, let's stop right there. Now, where
Yeah.
did you find your graphic artist?
A friend of mine who does the publishing for me, he had the hookups on that information.
Okay.
So I let him handle all that. And so he hooked us up with the graphic artist. And then once we got the first one, we said, okay, if we're going to continue this, we need to stick with the same one so they all look the same.
Right.
And what we do is we just pay for that work straight out. So
Okay,
I
per
own
book.
that work. Yeah. So I own the illustrations. I don't, again, because
You don't want to pay
you
royalties
can
on
get-
every book
yeah,
that's sold.
You can get so involved with all that stuff with illustrators, publishers, where everybody's getting a slice of the pie.
Right.
And that's not the route
And you
I wanted
chose to
go.
do that different. So
I
this
chose-
was
yeah.
self-publishing. And I think you were
Self-publishing.
very smart about
Yes.
it. And you really had a team
Yes.
of experts
Yes.
helping you, which was
Yes.
so wonderful. But then they saw the vision that, you're not only doing this for yourself, but you have a foundation
Yes.
that you're helping out.
Yes.
I want to mention that,
Yes.
Carter.
The Carter Craft Foundation,
Yes.
out of Forest. I have been lifelong friends with the Crafts, and of course the short version of that is Carter was a young aspiring adult coming up, working through the family business, had a bright future in front of him, plans laid out for him and everything, but unfortunately was tragically lost his life in a motorcycle accident. But
I
before,
remember, and that was so
Yes,
sad.
It
just-
was terrible. It was
yeah.
hard on all of us. But before he had passed away, Carter had already started laying down the work for the foundation, but had not got it built up. But he had talked to his family about helping the community and things he wanted to do. And he had already started helping doing stuff, but did not have the foundation started. So his parents and I, after he passed away, they came up with the idea and said, let's make his dream happen. And so when they did, they asked me, honored to be asked to say, well, you've known him since he was born. You've known us since we were 6th grade. Sit on the board with us to help us make this vision come. And so,
Wow.
I immediately, when we do the books, I'm going to donate to that foundation and help that foundation that I'm a part of. So,
That's so wonderful. And so, yeah, the vision is there, and
Yeah.
what an impact to the community.
and I tell people all the time when I do the book signings or go places and, people look at it like, I have people come up and look at the stuff and go, hey, it's cute, but, I don't have kids. I don't have grandkids. I'm like, hey, that's cool. You don't have to buy the book, but feel the need if you'd like to. Just go to the Carter Craft Foundation
That's
website
right.
and donate.
Yeah, support. And you can always obviously support the foundation
Yes.
without,
Yes.
but you can also purchase the book and then give them as gifts,
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
and just support community.
That's
I
right.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, so you published, you self-published,
Yes.
you found your graphic artist.
Yes.
What was the next step?
So the next step was, trying to decide which way to sell them.
Okay.
Okay, so Amazon obviously came up because.
And you'll have to tell me the steps. Tell us the steps of.
Well, so what you can do, you can submit your work to Amazon to get set up to have your own author page and get it approved to be on Amazon.
Okay.
And the good part is when you do that with Amazon, of course they get a cut of it. Then they do the shipping, all that stuff. And if you've got Prime and everything, so
right.
that helps me out where I don't have to deal with that. Now, I still do ship stuff. Like I said, if people contact me through the website, because there's a contact page on there, if they want autographed books, stuff like that, I will ship stuff. But if you're just buying the book straight out to have or give, Amazon's great. You can get them on there. If you got Prime, you're going to get them, the Prime shipping 2 day, next day, all that good stuff. So that helps out a lot. Here recently, in online, I'm not in the stores, but you can go to Barnes & Noble online and Walmart.com online, and my books are now starting to be available on the online portion, but not physically in the stores. But
okay,
on the online
so
portion.
Online version. So I got one of mine from Amazon.
Yes.
And so you submit everything. So you went Amazon route. So you had obviously you had written your story.
Yes.
Was it you just written just number one?
Yeah, I only had the first one. Yep, number one.
Okay, and that was
and really had only planned on doing one, but after it done so well,
right? You're like, let's ride that train.
Got to keep going.
Boots. So the first one, the day Boots became a cow.
Yes.
And then what was the second one? Was it
Boots is on the loose?
Boots is on the loose.
Yep, was the second one.
Then Boots meets a bee?
No.
Or that was the last one. That's number 4.
Christmas with Boots.
Christmas with Boots. Okay.
Yep. And then Boots meets a bee. And this one here is a little bit different from the others because it actually is a little educational, because when he meets a bee, it also just lightly touches on how bees pollinate and stuff like that. And so Boots is learning how bees are good for the environment, how the flowers are here, how we get honey, and all that good stuff. So
that's a good story. Yeah, a lot of teachable story right here. Every parent or grandparent needs to purchase these books. I think the whole series, really. I think it's precious. And so bedtime stories, naps time, these are the books that you want to have in hand. And so then, so you wrote your story, you had your graphic artist, you submitted everything to Amazon on your author page. Yes. How much do you think when we're telling people, hey, this is an option, this is a way to go if you self-publish, how much do you think somebody would need to start the project?
It's going to be all depends. So obviously mine are paperback. And then on the first book, we also did the Kindle where you do the download.
Okay.
But on the physical part of the book, I mean, it's just, you can spend as much as you want or as little as you want. Mine is paperback, the right size. We looked at that stuff and go, we compared sizes to children's books and regular books to get the sizing. But, paperback works. That way you can sell them at a good price and make some money. But, if you wanted to go the hardback, traditional with glossy print, coffee table editions, what they would call them, like, with, hard books, put them in. Obviously, that drives the cost up.
Sure.
So it just all depends, but you can start off, anywhere from $5,000 to whatever, and go on up. I mean, it's just how you want your product to look.
Right. So they can also, like you said, have the download version.
Yeah,
and
of course, like a hardback book. I've thought about that too. Would it be nice to maybe have some of those in a hardback, special editions or something?
Right.
But the cost,
the cost is kind of prohibitive.
It's going to
eat up a lot of your proceeds.
We keep all our books at the same price. All of them are $9.95.
And this is about 30 pages.
Yes. Yep. We try to keep them between 28 and 35.
Okay.
Seems to be the thing that works. And of course, you've got picture on one page, words on the next. That mix seems to work good doing that.
It keeps, when you're reading, you think about that for the
Yes.
child. You want to have the pictures because that keeps them engaged and
big
interested.
pictures. That's why the whole page on the opposite side, the whole page is pictures. So you got good big pictures. So when small children are looking at, if their parents are reading them, or if they're at the age where they start reading, first grade, second grade level, they can see them well. The words are big print. But if you're also reading them, like if you're reading them to your class or you're reading them to your grandchildren or children, whatever, it also gives you can hold them up and see them good and all that good stuff.
I love this page. Boots was taking a nap in his favorite place under a tree when he heard a voice. He looked up and saw his friends, Ben and Nate. This is so cute. Yeah. I love it. And this is the one about Boots meets a bee.
Boots meets a bee. Yeah.
So reading is so important. And what you are doing so much when you think about this project, how you're influencing such a huge, we're talking everywhere. This book is everywhere, right? When you go Amazon, it's everywhere. And so you can pick this book up at many places. Also, you've got other items, that support this. And soon a mascot. There's so much more here. And so if someone was to publish, I think, this is a good way to go, a good route to go if you want to self-publish. And they just get out there and do it, is what we say.
Yeah. If you got an idea, go with it.
Go with it. Be
and
inspired.
all of our books, we sell all the books, same price, $9.95.
$9.95. It's a good price range.
It's a good price point. And that's the other thing, when you get into the bigger stuff, I just don't, if you did a hardback version of that with, the higher quality photos and stuff, does somebody want to spend $30 on a children's book? I wouldn't.
Right. Sure. So I think $10, about $10 is a good price point, like you said, and that's doable. And especially when you want to get the series, I think, and soon enough, once you have all of them, whether it's 6 or 8, whatever it ends up being, you can sell them as a series too.
Yes, right.
Which will be really fun. And I'm excited. I cannot wait to meet Boots in person. I'm just so excited about this. So we've got what's next for the adventures. Now, you also, in your spare sleep time, you have a podcast as well.
Yes, Lost in Time.
Lost in Time.
All things 80s. I'm a big lover of 80s music, which a lot of people are.
Absolutely.
When I'm in my car and if I'm at home listening to my satellite radio, I'm listening to Hair Nation or 80s on 8. It's just the whole thing. I love the 80s stuff. Of course, that's what I grew up listening to. Yes. But also with that, we got to thinking about stuff, about toys of the 80s, that you have a lot of cool toys that were out in the 80s that people liked, TV shows, sitcoms. So, got sitting down and thinking with my wife and my friends and Woody, and like there's a whole group of people out there. That's a thing, is 80s stuff.
I love 80s myself, so grew up in that era, and it's so fun. And the music certainly is just so delightful. And it just brings you back to that time, right? Yes. Like you just feel young and energized, and I just love it. It's a good era. Yes. So that's exciting. And people can listen to your podcast. Yes. How can they go?
So you can go to Grove Street FM. It's on
Grove Street FM.
Grove Street FM.
Woody Watts. Watts Creative.
He's the man. He's the button pusher.
Speaking of the man, the man of the week, maybe month, certainly year. Yes. It's his birthday this week.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Woody. Woody is behind the scenes taping the show today, has no idea that what we're going to do.
Yes.
But we're going to actually sing happy birthday.
Yes.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Woody. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Yeah. And actually, before I left my office, I made him a birthday card.
Good for you. Yep. See there, we are on top.
And a lot of people that know Woody also knows that he's a big lover of Sasquatch.
Yes, most people know Bigfoot. You have the perfect card. So awesome.
Made with love.
Absolutely, and he's so deserving. I should have drawn a picture of Bigfoot. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, happy birthday, Woody.
Yes.
And maybe there'll be a birthday book coming out for for Boots.
That's right.
He needs to celebrate birthdays too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming
Yes,
on
thank you for having
today,
me.
DW.
Yes.
You are so wonderful.
And when we get the Boots costume here, maybe at one of your chamber events, something we'll have Boots make an appearance.
Oh my word, this
Yes.
would be so great.
At one of the ribbon cuttings or something.
Well, we've got one coming up, Running with the Scissors, coming up in August the 4th.
hope I
It's
can
for
get it
the
here by then.
entire town. We're going to at least 4, and we're ending at Beals to celebrate.
Okay.
So you'll have to be there. That just gives you think
If
you
I
can
can-
do it in time? August the 4th.
If I
coming
get
up.
my costume here in time, we'll do it.
All right,
I'll try my
cool. We'll
best.
have boots out there. Maybe we'll do a signing
Yeah, we
too
can do it.
there.
We can do it.
Thank you for signing
Yes.
my book too.
You're welcome.
That was so
Very
special. Well, God bless you and everything you're doing, and thanks for being such a community leader.
thank
And
you.
we'll look forward to seeing you at our next event.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thanks, Woody.